Braun has done a good job in incorporating a lot of their whitewater technology into the Delphins. The Mark II is equipped with the same seat and back band adjustment as the Mark I, same thigh braces. I've been using that particular setup in my Delphin, my Mark I Delphin now for the past 3 years, and find it very, very good for everything that I use it for. Surfing, rock hopping, tidal races, current and eddy work, and even for just exploring the nooks and crannies of the Bay of Fundy here. The new Mark II boat is equipped with a day hatch, which is an awesome added feature for the new Mark II, right behind the seat here. So unlike the Mark I, where you'd essentially either have to get out of the boat on shore or risk taking on water by having a friend pop your back hatch if you needed something, you can now put stuff in this separately bulkheaded day hatch just behind the seat. As with the Mark I, the Mark II is equipped with the glove compartment up front, and users need to understand that that glove compartment is not designed to be watertight. P&H has also added a sail setup to the Mark II Delphins. Much like the Mark II Scorpios, you can now attach rigging for a sail up on the bow of the kayak. This adds a new dynamic to the kayak and adds a lot of fun if you're in a spot where you can use wind to your advantage and it's not too rough out. Speaking of rough, as with the Mark I, the Mark II is equipped with all kinds of rocker, hard chines in the bow for surfing, soft chines at the cockpit, and soft lines at the stern, squared off stern as well, just like the Mark I, to give you a longer wetted hull length and a faster boat. The kayak, much like the Mark I's, is equipped with Kayak Sport hatch covers, with the addition of the day hatch here, which is a dual density hatch cover. The other ones are soft rubber-like material, dual density, soft rubber on the edge, hard plastic in the middle, much like many of the other brands that have that day hatch. P&H has incorporated an updated design on their skeg system. They've moved it from the side of the boat kind of up and forward a little bit to get it out of the way for high angle style paddlers like myself and many of the people that I paddle with. This reduces the chances of you hitting the tab for the skeg and brings it forward and up out of the way a little bit more. It also reduces how much you hit it when you're straddling the boat, kind of playing, showing off, or if you're doing solo re-entries and you get your feet up forward for whatever reason. It reduces the amount that can get hit and get deployed or retracted. The Delphin Mark II, like the Delphin Mark I, is equipped with the recessed compass area in the bow for your Brunton P70Ps and that sort of thing. It's also equipped with bow to stern safety lines and bungee storage. Bungee storage set up in the bow for spare paddle, or if you prefer it on the stern, you can set it up that way too. We kind of suggest the bow because we like to teach people solo re-entries on the stern. P&H incorporates what they call Core Light X into the Mark II Delphin 155 and 150. For more on that, we'll talk to Jeremy. Thanks, Jeremy. All right, Core Light X, Pelican's Ram X, Riot uses an X plastic. We're going to have to get into some mumbo jumbo, just a warning ahead. We're going to break down some technical jargon here into actual scientific stuff. I'm no scientist, I just have one single diploma. It's only a 2-year, but I went into a lot of material stuff. So I'm going to pass on to you everything that's in the textbook that I had years ago in college. Alright, so Core Light X, Ram X, linear polyethylene, cross-link polyethylene. What does all this mean? Let's break it down first into plastics themselves. The proper term for plastics is actually polymers, because there are thermoplastic polymers and thermoset polymers. What does this all mean? Let's break it down first into polymer. What does polymer mean? Polymer is two combined Greek words, poly meaning many, meros meaning parts, many parts, and what that essentially means is you have hydrogen molecules, carbon molecules, they are linked together, and then there are chains of these linked together to create different plastics, different mers of a particular hydrocarbon chain. So polyethylene, you can have two different setups for these chains of hydrogen and carbon molecules. You can have them linear, kind of together in a linear strand, or you can have them cross-linked in a cross-linked strand. Any type of microwave safe plastic is usually the cross-link thermoset plastic. You break that word down, thermoset, heat is set. The plastic is set after it's heated and molded. It's kind of set to that shape. The crystalline structure of the plastic, the molecular structure of the plastic, is set in place once it's cooled. You can't reheat it and remold it. So your Corelite X, your Ram X, Riots, thermoplastic boats, and there are a few other brands out there that are using a thermoset polymer. Those plastics can't be rebonded with heat. So if you put a big gouge in them, they can't be rebonded by simply heating up a putty knife or a butter knife and melting that plastic back onto itself. So there's a disadvantage in that sense of it, but the advantage is because that molecular chain is cross-linked, it's a stronger bond. Because it's a stronger bond, we don't have to make the plastic as thick to retain the same strength in the hull. So the thermoset polymers, that Corelite X, that Ram X, can be thinner because it's going to be a stiffer plastic. So how P&H has kind of made this even better is they've taken this plastic that they previously didn't use and incorporated it into their Corelite material. Corelite is essentially, the way I understand it, polyethylene on the outside. In the middle is a high-density polystyrene or styrofoam. Kind of the same idea as what you would find in the rigid styrofoam in the walls of your house, that insulation styrofoam. It's very high density, very rigid, and fairly strong, I guess from a plastic standpoint. It will give that plastic a little bit more strength from flexing in the water and make that P&H boat, the plastic P&H boat, a little bit more like a composite boat because it's a little bit stiffer and lighter. So they've got the polyethylene on the outside, polystyrene on the middle, and then polyethylene again on the inside. So outside polyethylene, polystyrene, polyethylene. It's kind of like a sandwich. Because that Corelite X is a lighter plastic, it's a lighter boat as well. So that is kind of the benefit to Corelite X is lighter, stronger, and more durable from abrasion and wear resistance.